Win over the Cowboys. Seattle running back Chris Carson was hurt when Dallas lineman Tristin Hill Gator rolled. You're going to know more about this than me for sure. Over Carson's ankle after tackle. After the game, linebacker KJ Wright tweeted, "Doing dirty, dumb, malicious bleep like this can end somebody's season!" Exclamation. "This is clearly intentional, and getting fined isn't enough," end quote. Now, the NFL should suspend Tristin Hill at least one game for the move.
No, I don't think they should suspend him for that move. It was a dirty move, and guys have been doing this for years. Why he was doing that, Gator rolling, which is, it really just catches you off guard because you're trying to get up and your body is relaxed. Like you callous yourself, we use that word often, to taking hits and to going into contact and how to fall properly. But once you're on the ground and the play is over, you're relaxed. Like your body just eases up and you're collecting yourself for the next play. And that's when you're most vulnerable. So the fact that it happened then is what's most frustrating about this. I don't think he should be suspended, but that's a dirty move.
I don't think he should be suspended either. I have him out of bounds. Now, but here's the thing, Tiki. If it's that dirty, and I don't doubt that it is, then why don't we, implement some sort of more punitive punishment?
Yeah, because it's not violent. I mean, it's ticky-tack in a sense, and it's usually not going to hurt you. So you can't penalize something that's usually not going to help. He got caught the wrong way, Chris Carson, and it sucks because he's on my fantasy team, so I'm not going to find another running back.
My team's just I'm ravaged with injuries, as most people are.
I know. Just heard the Dallas Goddard dude. Not that I have him, but
tight end.
I mean, so the Philadelphia Eagles cannot buy a break.
No good if you have Carson Wentz, though.
True.
I mean, Zach Ertz and Carson. Certainly if you have Zach Ertz, much better. I mean, you don't want to see Goddard go out, but if you have one of the other tight end who's obviously very good, you don't have to share. All right. I'm going to say out of bounds. It doesn't involve the head. It is old school dirty. I've heard all the old players intimate that today. But suspend them seems a little strong for me, so I'm with you. I'm going to say out of bounds. Victor Oladipo played just 55 games the past 2 years combined, but the guard's not happy with the Pacers. Jared Weiss of The Athletic reports Oladipo was, quote, looking to move on this offseason, and the Celtics could be a possible target. So he's a two-time All-Star, pumps in 23 a game. He did that in 2018, but he hasn't quite been as dominant the past couple of seasons. So, where is he? It was a quad issue, which obviously, zips you and zaps you of some explosion.
Yep.
He wasn't the same guy. In or out, Oladipo can be a legit number 2 for a title contending team.
I'm going to say out of bounds to that. I think his health issues have been myriad over the last couple of years, and I worry about guys because he's not old that have these many injuries year after year. So I'm going to say out of bounds just because I don't know how available he would be. I'm trying to picture him as a member of the Lakers or in the Miami Heat. And if he makes that big of a difference, I guess anybody could, but I'm going to say out of bounds. I don't see it.
I mean, I really like him, but I'm going to say out of bounds as well. I think if he's your big off-season addition and you've got, one legitimate star, and you have real championship aspirations based on this move, I think it's very risky because he's just not physically reliable last couple of years. Now, if you insert him more practically into a third or even a 2B slot, like if the Mavericks ever got him and it's Doncic and KP and Oladipo.
Or the Lakers.
Well, sure, yeah. No, but they don't even need him is my point.
Of course they don't. But, yeah, they actually kind of do. When you look at the bench, the plus minus.
Next year they might. Next year they might.
Next year they definitely
It's going to be good. If he's inserted into the Celtics situation with Tatum and Kemba, maybe. LeBron, AD, Steph, Clay. Is he that kind of a player? No, Clay's number 2 to Steph. He's not that kind of guy. Is he like Kyrie? Will hopefully for Nets fans be to KD, or like Kyrie was to LeBron? No, he's not that kind of player. Is he like Murray is to Jokic? No, not really. So he's just not good enough. He's good, but this is rarefied air. Legit number 2, like a Scottie Pippen to win a championship? I don't see him as that player, just a tick below. They won the Central. They earned the 3 seed in the playoffs despite former MVP Chris Bryant hit 206. I know it's a short season, but we have 4 home runs. I mean, if 60, 120, you're talking about like prorate this, like it's like a 13 home run season, whatever it is. So he's he's heard some boos, and after the weekend, he was asked about the fan criticism. Bryant didn't hold back.
What's been your reaction to some of that?
I don't give a shit. I really don't. That's a good answer. Kind of over it. So, I don't give a shit. How about that?
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. You don't really hear an athlete say it quite like that. I mean, the second point, put it this way, just the way he said it the second time, you better get him out of Chicago.
Wow.
That relationship's done. Those fans will not forgive him for that. Book that. Bryant has much hype, obviously. Won an MVP a couple of years ago, and he did help him end the drought there in the World Series. But he's really scuffled the past couple of years. He's not the player that a lot of people thought he would be, in or out. Bryant has been a disappointment considering the hype around him.
It's hard to say that a guy's a disappointment when he was the Rookie of the Year and then the MVP. He had, what was it, 2018? Yeah, 2 years ago. He missed a handful, really like a lot of games. And then after that, he hasn't quite been the same. But prior to that, he was 26 home runs, 39 home runs, 29 home runs, and he had that off year. And he came back, hit 31 home runs. I'm going to say out of bounds. I think I think he's delivered. It's just he's in a frustrating place right now. And I can't help but think it has a lot to do with his contract and the fact that he's not arbitration eligible until 2021.
Well, he better get over it, because if he keeps hitting 206, he's not going to get the money that he's looking for.
Great point.
The answer is inbounds. He has been a disappointment. I understand what you're saying. He burst on the scene, Rookie of the Year, great, and wins the okay, terrific. But there's been a lot of players that have had these incredible starts to careers, and then they just got sidetracked for whatever reason. Listen, Chris Bryant in a year is going to be 30. So, you kind of are what you are. And he plays in a good hitting ballpark. He plays with bats all around him, so he's getting good pitches to hit. Come on, man. I mean, Chris Bryant, you tell me the home runs, I'll give you the RBIs. 73, 52, 77. And then, this year's different. He's got 11,
Yeah.
but...
Is that all him, or is that the guys in front of him that can't get on base?
Hey, listen,
Just saying.
I mean, listen, no, it's him. When you have 73 RBIs and 50 RBIs, I understand there's going to be situations where you might have 93 RBIs. If you're on a good team, you had 115 for sure. But Chris Bryant has fizzled. He is not the same player. I don't know why. I don't know what it is specifically, but he's just not a dominant player. I know you can't do this, but if you deleted the first 2 years from your memory bank and you just assessed who he is today, it's not incredibly impressive. It's just not. The answer is inbounds. He's got in a weird space.
There's a lot of guys on this roster. Contreras, Baez, Schwarber, even Chris Bryant
but
himself.
Schwarber's not that kind of player. And the other guys are younger than Chris Bryant.
That strike out a ton. A ton.
Well, I'm not worried about the strikeouts.
I am, because you're talking about Chris Bryant driving in runs. There's nobody on base, dude. They don't walk either.
I'm just telling you, that's not the way it works in baseball, man.
I understand that, but still.
You got to hit better than 250 if you want to be a superstar.
Oh, I agree. Hitting 206 is just not. I mean, that's horrendous. I don't care how short the season is, but still, they haven't been good the last couple of years. Period. Not just Chris Bryant.
So the Lightning won their first cup since 2004. They beat the Stars 6 games. They won 2-0 last night. Now, last year, Tampa tied the NHL record with 62 wins before being unceremoniously swept in the first round by Columbus. We mentioned this before. Last night, head coach John Cooper was with Scotty Van Pelt, he of the Bad Beats on SportsCenter, wearing a hat of Tiki's Virginia Cavaliers, the national championship team, who won the title after being the first 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed, and explain them and use them, Virginia, as the inspiration. Question is this here, Teak. Tampa, all right, Tampa winning the Cup last year after last year's disappointment is more impressive than Virginia's turnaround the next year.
I'm going to say out of bounds of that, and I'm biased, but Virginia, it's so hard to, when you're a number one, it just has never happened. It's so hard to lose to a 16th seed, especially, Maryland, Baltimore County, which nobody had even considered getting to the next round. But then taking that disappointment. Now, they were lucky because they had a lot of the same kids coming back with DeAndre Hopkins and Kyle Guy and et cetera, Diakite, all those guys. So, it made sense that Virginia was able to do it, But it also makes sense that the Tampa Bay Lightning were able to do it because the team was mostly intact. They didn't have wholesale changes. So they're equally impressive, but I'm going to say Virginia's was more.
Well, listen, you're right. You are biased, but you're right. Your instincts are right. I'm not biased. I mean, yeah, I want to see Virginia do well for my partner, but I'm not biased here. The answer is out of bounds, and I think it's out of bounds for this one reason. The scrutiny, listen, you win 60-plus games, you get bounced by a team that you're supposed to sweep. You get in the hockey world, you're going to get lit up a little bit. Understood. When you historically do something that we've always kind of talked about and talked around and feared and also quietly kind of hoped for, like Princeton almost did it to Georgetown back in the day with Pete Carrill and Alonzo. You look for those moments that are so captivating, and just more people care about the big dance than they do about a team getting bounced in the first round of the NHL playoffs. So, the ability to come back from that and it be a more than a footnote, but a big, italicized bullet point in the annals of college basketball, and come back as young men when you're impressionable and vulnerable because you hear all that stuff, it's incredibly impressive, no doubt. But great job by the Lightning. Awesome stuff. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.